Hey everybody, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, FACCI'S Cinema. You already know who I am. But tonight is another episode of my content creator interview series I've been doing. This is episode 7. I mean, this guy's been on the channel before, so it isn't like I'm meeting him for the first time or anything. But he's definitely somebody who you guys should definitely check out if you have not. It is Christian Hanna. Used to be Christian Hanna Horror. Now it's PlanetCHH. Links are down below. Go check out his channel. But let's welcome Christian back to the channel, into the cafe. What's up, buddy?
What's up, player?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I saw you are one busy man on YouTube. I'll tell you that. You drop videos constantly, always grinding. That's why your subscriber count keeps growing. It's fantastic, man.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Are you a big, obviously you put out a lot of pre-recorded content. Do you have a preference? Do you like lives better? Do you like the pre-recorded stuff, or a little mixture of both?
Pre-recorded for sure. It's therapeutic for me to be able to just come in here and especially when I work nights. I like to film and record videos at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, which is really like my lunchtime because I'm working graveyard. So like tonight, for instance, I'm probably going to come up with a couple ideas, record 2, 3 videos, and it's quiet. I ain't gonna deal with nobody. I can get work done. Horror movies I enjoy watching movies more at 1, 2 in the morning. So definitely pre-recorded.
When I first started the channel, I was mainly pre-recorded, but I just don't, unlike you, I don't find the therapeutic in that. It kind of irritates me. I'm not the best editor. I mean, the editing software I was accustomed to using, something happened with my laptop and it won't let me use it anymore. So then I kept trying to find a replacement, and I couldn't find one that I really liked and was easy enough for me to do. So I kind of just quit doing it. I've had requests to go back to do pre-recorded, but I don't know. I don't have the drive to do it. And I'm the opposite of you. I would do my stuff early in the morning, and I was just too freaking tired to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and do it. So I kind of let that part of the channel go away to the wayside, but I would like to get back into it. I just got to find the drive to do it again, I guess.
Do whatever you enjoy. If you enjoy doing lives, do lives.
That's where I enjoy the most. I get the most interaction from the chat and the guests, obviously. Last night, obviously, I had Garrett on, so that was a blast. And I got to have you on, which is also a blast. Speaking of Garrett, there he is in the chat. What's up, buddy? So what made you get started in the YouTube game in the first place? Like, what was it that inspired you to get started?
Pizzle 100%. What happened was I didn't know that there was horror YouTubers. Like it would never occur to me that even existed. So what ended up happening was when I got into buying horror movies regularly around like 2009-ish, I just started going online and just looking up Friday the 13th DVDs just to see if like there was even videos. And I found not only that there were videos of this stuff, but there were in fact people that were talking about it and doing that sort of thing. And I'll never forget finding Pizzowl's Friday the 13th collection video where he just takes all his DVDs and puts them on his couch and he's going through them. And I was like, oh, this is like incredible. Like, what is this? It was very eye-opening to me that there's people that did that sort of thing. So after seeing that video, it was probably 3-4 months after that, I was like, I guess I can do it. I may as well try. You know, so unequivocally, Pizzle was the YouTuber that was like made me be like, oh yeah, I got to do this.
I got you. So how many years have you been going so far?
I started in the summer of 2012, and my first video is me playing the Puppet Master theme on piano.
Wow.
You know, because I got a piano like a year or so before, a keyboard. I got a Roland RS9 synthesizer keyboard. It's actually a really nice keyboard still. And I was like, Trey, take my phone and record me. I'm going to play the Puppet Master theme. I'm just going to post it on YouTube. I have no idea how many views. That probably doesn't have much views at all. But that was the summer of 2012. And We are now in the summer of 2013, so I've been doing YouTube 11 years.
Damn.
I don't consider myself an OG. I don't, because I feel like I came in at the beginning of the second. I don't know if second wave is even the word. Like, I really don't know. Like, I'm not a Dead Pit OG or a Pizzle OG. Like, they started. Like, I feel like there's YouTubers that started in like 2009, and I started in 12. So I consider myself like a second wave of YouTuber. I don't know what wave would be now if you started in the last 2 or 3 years. There's the COVID wave, right?
Yeah,
Where a lot of people started. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah. So it's been a long time, man. 2012.
and Nick says he's been around longer than this clown. So there you go. There you go.
Well, more people know me, so if he wants to be a dick, I'll be a dick back. Anyway.
Oh fuck, that was cold. But you just love each other, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You need a horror podcast.
He's like a little brother. Yeah.
Aren't you like the same age?
He's a few years younger than me. I think Nick's like 2. I'm 31. I think Nick's 28 or 29.
Damn.
I know he's not 30 yet.
I'm way older than him. Damn.
How old are you?
I'll be 35 in a couple weeks.
That's not old.
It's not old. I just don't seem older than you guys.
You look younger than me, in my opinion.
That's like the big topic of discussion on this channel for some reason. Every stream I do, it always goes back to how old I am, and then I look like I'm 25 years old, but I'm fucking 10 years older.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never drank or did any drugs. I don't know if that helped me not age like other people, but
I think you're killing it, Facci.
Well, thanks, buddy. You bring the knowledge though. That's why people go to your channel. Every video you do just sounds so damn sophisticated. It ain't even funny. I was just watching you were pulling up the Friday the 13th ones. You were looking at the Jason masks and that Jason shirt. Everything. It just seems so smart. And then I try to go make a video and I just sound dumb.
You don't sound dumb. Look, man, you're you. I'm me. I mean, I'm silly too. I'm never serious. So I don't know. I have a lot of useless information. I have a lot of useless knowledge in life that does me no good. That's really what it is. I know about stuff that can't make me any money or do me any good.
Hey,
like
it sounds good though.
So.
Hey, where to go? Not that one. That's a good point, Ken. Puppet Master may be a top 5 horror score. It is good score.
I agree.
Puppet Master movies are pretty creepy. I ain't gonna lie, especially them first couple. I've been rewatching them recently, and that's a lot of nostalgia because I grew up watching those movies as a kid, and they freak me out because those puppets are fucking creepy as shit. But really, the puppets are really like not bad. Like
they're moody is what it is. They'll be bad in one movie, and then Charlie's like, okay, the next one, let's give them a villain to have so the people could cheer for the puppets, and then they fight the Soviet Union,
Yep,
so
and then everybody's rooting for the puppets in that one.
Right.
They're fucking killing everybody. I love it. That's the one I just rewatched the other day, actually. Puppet Master 3. I like that one.
Yeah.
Before I get any deeper, I guess I should say hello to the chat. Say who's in here real quick. We got Bubba Ho, Boogman, Lamontra, what's up? Sebastian, Good Real Hunting, what's up? Brett, Aaron, Rosie, my darling, what's up? Basement Blues, what's up? Blu-ray Addict, Cody, dude who loves movies, what's up, Cody? Always appreciate you, buddy. Who else? I know I've already saw Nick in here. Obviously, Garrett. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Ken from Mid-Level Media. Really appreciate it. It means a lot. All right, so I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
What is your favorite horror franchise? Like I said, I think I already know it, but I'm going to ask it.
Yeah, Elm Street.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you're going to go that way, if you're going to go Return of the Living Dead. I wasn't sure which way avenue you were going to go.
It's a good question. I mean, The Return of the Living Dead is my favorite movie, but Elm Street, I love all of them. Every single one of them. And it's not just the movies. You know what I mean? It's like, it's everything. It's the posters. It's Robert. It's all the stuff all the fans say. I love all of it. The music, the collecting aspect of it. Like I found the Fat Boys because of Elm Street, and I found Go West because of Elm Street, and I found you name it. It's not just the movies. That's one portion of it. Why I
Yeah.
love Elm Street so much. It gave me my love for so many things, along with Return of the Living Dead.
Mhm.
Have you seen part 2, Return of the Living Dead 2?
I want to say yes.
Well, it doesn't really matter if you have, but in the beginning of Return of the Living Dead Part 2, when the guy's driving the truck,
Mhm.
there's a song playing, and it's like this fast-paced kind of new wave kind of song, and I was like, what is that? I love that, whatever that song is. So I found out on the soundtrack it was an artist named Julian Cope, and I decided I was going to go check out that artist.
Mhm.
And Facci, that movie gave me my love for Julian Cope. He's become in my top 5 artists of all time. That's what that movie
Yeah.
did for me. So when I tell people what my favorite movies are, a lot of times my answer is not, oh, I love this scene or I love the
Yeah.
makeup and that. It's what the movies, they changed my life. So for a movie to give me one of my favorite artists of all time,
Mm.
you can't put into words what that means. You just can't do it. And so
Awesome.
Elm Street did that on a major scale. I fell in love with Dokken because of Elm Street. I fell in love with Go West. I fell in love with Vinnie Vincent Invasion. I fell in love with the Divinals. I fell in love with the Sea Hags. I fell in love with old school Goo Goo Dolls. I could go on. So
Mhm.
you see my point.
Yep.
Those movies changed my life. They're part of my DNA.
Awesome. So obviously what would be your second favorite of the big three? You going? I'm thinking you're leaning towards Friday the 13th, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong. Okay.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is, I said this a bunch, even though Elm Street's my favorite collecting wise,
Mhm.
nothing is more fun than collecting Friday the 13th. I have a blast getting, I've got my Jasons on my wall.
Mhm.
I'm sure you might have seen them
Yep.
before. And there's no better feeling than when I get that box in and I spent an ungodly amount of money on this part 3 Jason, and you pull this thing out and it's like the skin flesh and it's so real. It was a company called damn it, I really like to promote the guy because he was awesome, but I forgot. I'll have to, if it comes to mind, I'll think of it. But getting those busts. I've
Mhm.
been meaning to do a video because people ask me, what should I do? Should I get this? Should I get a Trick or Treat Studios mask? Or should I do this? And like, I've been wanting to make a video to talk about my experience and opinion on that. Like, hey,
Mhm.
you could get Trick or Treat Studio stuff and there's nothing wrong with it. But eventually you're going to save up a little bit and you're going to get this. And then all this cheaper stuff, it's just going to be
Yeah.
nothing in comparison. And you just got to figure out what kind of collector you want to be. But in terms of collecting, it's not the Devil's Latex, Justin, but I do have some stuff from the Devil's Latex, like this. This is a Ted White. Like, look at this, Facci. Like, this is why I say Friday is the best. Like, getting these replicas,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. And then the mask comes off, and you've got Ted's face under there.
So good.
There's just nothing like it. But Nightmare
Man.
is fun to collect too. But with Jason, I mean, there's just nothing. There's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it. But in terms of the movies as well, I love Friday the 13th. Just
So-
like Elm Street, I think I love every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. No, that's not to say I'm going to defend if you
Yeah.
don't like one, but I truly can sit there and watch every single one of them. I could do that with Halloween too. I could watch every single one of those.
I can almost do that with Halloween, except for 2 of them, but it's fine. I know you're a big Rob Zombie Halloween 2 guy, if I'm not mistaken.
I like both of them. Yeah. Excuse me.
I don't know, something about them. I don't know. I don't know. I do collect. I mean, I have them all, and I say I don't like Rob Zombie, yet I have pretty much every Rob Zombie movie he's made. So
I think, see, Matt, I think you might be that cutoff. Not to say that you don't get the movie, not at all. But
yeah,
I think you are a few years older than me. And I think you might have experienced those pre-zombie movies a little bit more in real time.
mm,
And you relate more to those films and you have more of a kinship with the
Yeah, I
original
get it.
style series. I was 16, 17 when that movie, the first one, came out in 2007. I was 15 or 16. So,
Yeah.
like, dude, that was the heart of my youth, right?
Hmm.
That was my Halloween, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I can't take that away. That
No.
kinship I have of me being 16 and going to the theater, and you know, I think there might be a little bit of a generational thing with some people, you
I,
know.
yeah. I was gonna,
Not to say that their reasons for not liking the film is not valid. Okay.
yeah.
You know, but I don't know.
I mean, everybody got, like we always say, like everybody shouldn't like the same thing because then it would just be boring
Of
if
course.
every single person liked every single movie that ever came out. I My first like kind of experience with a new Halloween was probably H2O, which is why I'm a huge Halloween H2O fan. I
Me
was
too.
10.
Me
I was
too.
10 when that came out, and I remember seeing it. And then Resurrection came out, and I know it's not a good movie. I get it, but I was 14 when that movie came out. I saw it in theaters, and I was like, "Dude, this is awesome!" I got to see how Michael Myers on the big screen, so I kind of liked it. Obviously, it's not great, and it's
But
very
you had when you think about when you say Halloween Resurrection, you probably flooded with these memories of you being alive, being cognizant,
yep.
and being ready. And that's okay. That's gonna color your opinion on movies. It happens to all of us. But that
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's not valid, you know,
yeah. I
to
remember
have those.
I got the Resurrection DVD for Christmas. I remember I was so freaking jacked, and then the family's there, and then I'm just going over and putting in Halloween Resurrection, watching it on Christmas Day while everyone's there, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "I'm watching Halloween."
So
Why not?
so Fauci's watching Resurrection on Christmas.
You better believe I was. I was so excited,
I
and
love it.
now I don't really watch that one. I mean, if it's like on AMC or something, I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not gonna go pop it in out of the collection to watch it. But I kind of, I guess I have like the same relationship with the new David Gordon Green trilogy of Halloween. I know a lot of people don't like them very much. I know there's mixed bags in all of them,
Mhm.
but I love them all, and
Mhm.
I probably rewatch those ones more than previous installments because that came out right now. It's current, it's fresh,
Mhm.
and it brought Halloween back to the forefront again. While your boy Freddie and Jason aren't really doing too much right now, so yeah, that's probably why I lean towards those ones as well.
I am excited that there's another Friday the 13th game apparently, and the Manfredini broke the news on that. He's actually
Oh,
making music for it. So Gun Media is done with the old one. And I'm excited for the Texas Chainsaw game. I don't know if you're a gamer. I'm really not a gamer,
I'm not.
but those games, like a new Texas Chainsaw game, I can't wait to play that.
It looks good.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited for that.
we have the Friday the 13th game. I tried to play it. I'm not good. If I'm not good at something, I don't even try to get better. I just quit. So
Hmm.
the kids play it, and they're freaking doing all the cool things and killing people. And I'm like, how the fuck are you guys doing this shit? And I play it, and I sneak up on somebody, and like, and they fucking run away. And then I get
You're
really
too
pissed
old,
off.
Faci. You're too old, damn it.
Fuck it. I'd rather just play Madden. I can do that. I can do that. I can't play them games. I mean, it looks. If a new one comes out, I'll get it for them because I'm sure they'll dig playing it. So I'll have it. But if they ever come out with a Halloween game, even if I don't want to play it, I'm gonna buy it anyway because it's a Halloween game. So of course I'm gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have? I know you have all like the Friday the 13th bust and shit. Do you have like anything Halloween bust wise? Or are you not really into that? Don't want to spend your money on that stuff.
You know what's so funny? Not necessarily bust. So Sean Clark had a company years ago called Silver Champagne Novelties.
I heard
He
of that.
shut it down right as he was starting to book Jamie Lee Curtis for that convention a decade ago.
Wow.
I bought the very last witch mask from Silver Champagne Novelties. It's up here. I'd grab it. I've got stuff in front of it, but I've got a H2O mask that I got off eBay years ago. I've got a Creation X Halloween 6 mask that's still the best on the market I'd ever seen.
Damn.
I got a Halloween 4 Nightmare. Brandon, if Brandon was here, he could tell you. I forgot Nightmare something Studios. uncle. It's an uncle mask version 1. I had because Brandon was like, "You have the first version, Christian." So yeah, I've got Halloween stuff, but there was a guy that just hit me up. He wants to trade. I have a Leatherface bust from Creation X. He loves it, and this guy's on my ass. He wants to trade me this bust statue, resin Michael Myers from Halloween 2018.
Nice.
And it's like it's a resin thing. It's not like a mask. The whole thing is made out of resin, and it's tempting. But I don't know. I've had that Leatherface for over a decade. I've had that Leatherface for a decade. I love it. It's incredible. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I kind of hard to part with it having it that long.
Yeah, I'm really sentimental. I have a problem selling stuff too, which is why I've accumulated thousands of dollars worth of just garbage.
Of garbage,
you know,
like, it's not garbage.
I have like $20,000 worth of laser discs. I do. I just, I kept buying them for a long time.
Hey,
dude, now they go for crazy money. I was getting those Halloween laser discs, $20-$30 a pop. Now it's crazy what they sell for. Crazy. And I'll have people hit me up, try to get them, buy them from me. And they'll offer me reasonable stuff, but I'm always just like, I don't know, I can't do it. I keep saying in 5 years I'll sell it. And then I'll let it be worth some more money. So when 5 years happens, I'll say another 5 years I'll sell
it. Keep it going. Just keep it going. Then they'll be worth millions and you'll be rich.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I saw somebody post earlier. So what would be your top 3 horror franchises? Obviously Nightmare's in there. What else would you put in your top 3?
See, that's really tough. Nightmare and Friday, in terms of just my favorite, like my 3 favorites, Nightmare, Friday, and it could either be Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just depends on the day, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It really does. Just they're interchangeable. But like really it's Nightmare and Friday that are my
your go-tos.
That's what most of the this wall is Friday the 13th, the back wall is Nightmare on Elm Street. An
oily doll, I'll take it. Fat Pinhead. Is this Nick? Does Nick have like 15 fucking accounts?
No, that Nick is not Fat Pinhead.
Damn, who's Fat Pinhead?
Nick's not gonna try to,
I don't know about Nick. He's crazy like that. I like that, Nick. Show me on the doll where ends hurt y'all. I like that. Ends did not hurt me at all. I just watched it again today because I love it so much. So I'll always be Halloween Ends guy. I don't care.
There you go.
It is what it is. It's kind of nice being on the opposite end though, for once, instead of going with the crowd being like, oh, I hate that movie too. I like being on the opposite end, and it creates great discussion. I love it.
Discussion.
Pretty much just being called an asshole and you're an idiot, and you don't really like Halloween, and I'm like, whatever.
You gotta laugh at that kind of stuff. It's so incredible, right? You
don't like something because you like one movie in the franchise that they don't, and you're like, you're not a fucking Halloween fan, you liar. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you being a huge Halloween 3 guy, you probably got some of that crap. You're not really a real Halloween fan.
I mean, yeah, it back in the day, I remember I used to get like into like Facebook groups all the time for movies I'd like. And there's Facebook groups for you name it.
Yeah.
There's ball bearings enthusiast Facebook groups. But I remember back in 2010, I went on Facebook and I found like a Halloween 3 appreciation group. And even in the appreciation group, people would join it just to talk about how much they didn't like the movie. And that's what it was like. So,
yeah,
I am the, I'm not better than anybody else, but I will say I am the best at ignoring mean comments. None of it bothers me. Who are these? It's like, who are these people, man? You don't
know them. Yeah. I mean, I don't really. I'm not as big as you, so I don't really get the haters. So
nobody's ever gonna hate you, Fudge.
Unless I'm just too nice, which
you are. You're a nice guy.
I've heard I'm really, really too nice, and people don't think I can get mad. But
this is what I'll tell you, Facci. You're not asking for advice. I'm not saying you need advice.
No.
But always take people's criticism, especially your viewers, take their criticism. If they say something about your channel or your videos, listen to it. But if they put a slur or call you a cuss word, don't listen to it. Your audience will be honest with you, but if they put a cuss word in any of it, don't listen. Just don't. That's where you don't bother. But if somebody tells you, because I've had it happen to me a bunch, like, Christian, your intro's way too long. It's ridiculous. You know, take this out. Like, you need to start putting this in that. Like, I'll listen to it. But if it's LOL, kill yourself, bitch, like, no. That kind of stuff, you know.
LOL, kill yourself, bitch. Say, thank you. I'll get right on that. I'll be back in 5. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. What? So we got your favorites. Like, what would you think would be? What is an underrated horror franchise if you had to pick one? Like, which is one that people just don't gravitate towards, but they should?
I don't see franchise. That's a very difficult word.
We can go movies if you want.
Movies is easier. Like, underrated. Everybody uses the word underrated in a somewhat kind of different way. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times the word underrated is used when people just like a movie that their friend group aren't a big fan of, or like, if a million people. Let me ask you this, Facci. If I say, I want to throw this back to you. If tens of 20s of 30s of millions of people have seen Freddy's Dead, let's use Freddy's Dead as an example. They've all got an opinion on it. They've seen it. And if it's mostly negative and I like it and I say Freddy's Dead is underrated, does that make sense? Or is it underrated? Millions and millions of people have seen it and have an opinion on it. I think
that's true.
For me, an underrated film. Let me answer the question now. For me, an underrated movie is a film that's buried, and there's no discussions going on at all on it. You know, that's what I think of. And of course, that would mean it would be a movie I think is in fact good. My main one I always go to, 10 out of 10 times, is always Manhunter, because the Anthony Hopkins movies have become completely in the forefront. But the Michael Mann Manhunter, which is basically Red Dragon of the 80s, since I love the, what was it, 98, the Red Dragon movie, 98 or 2000. I think Hannibal was 2000 and Red Dragon was 98.
Yeah.
The Red Dragon film was sensational. They're both really good. I really love the Michael Mann Manhunter Red Dragon, though. And see, that film, it's pretty buried. And also 2002, excuse me. And also it's kind of lost on physical media as well, which does hurt it, because a lot of the horror people are also physical media people. And so that, because that movie's out of print, it's just. But if I could, underrated franchise, I don't know, because I'm trying to think of a franchise that has a lot of entries and there are a lot of good ones in it.
That's tough.
You know,
Nick went with Hellraiser, but he usually does.
I wouldn't argue with Hellraiser. I could meet Nick on that. We've talked about those movies at nauseum, almost. Not nauseum, but at great length. And going back, some of them, they have nuggets of cool things in them, right? And to me, sometimes a movie can be so bad that it's entertaining. Like, I can watch Revelations all day long. I can watch it. It's hysterical. How do you not laugh at Revelations when the brother starts trying to bang his sister, and then this overweight pinhead shows up? Like, how do you not love that? I think it's hysterical. I don't know, Facci. I'm a sucker for Paranormal Activity, but that has some duds in it. I can go with Hellraiser. I'll go with that.
Okay,
I can go with Hellraiser.
I get Hellraiser a lot when I ask that question, so that usually pops up a lot. Paranormal Activity, I've never seen any of them, so
you should watch that. But you do not. I'm begging you, do not stream do a stream and watch it. You need to turn the lights off.
Make it dark.
You need to put your phone up. I'm not saying you're a phone addict. I'm just
I
saying you
am.
need to put your phone up, turn the lights out, no distractions, and let the film envelop your room. You got a big screen at that house, Facci?
Yes, I do.
You put them kids to bed, and you experience Paranormal Activity. That's what you're gonna do.
How many of them are there?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Why don't we?
He has them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Facci, you know what? I am gonna go with Paranormal. I'm gonna swap. I'm swapping to Paranormal Activity.
Swapping it.
I think 4 is the low point. Marked Ones was good. Ghost Dimension is not great, but after rewatching it many years later, I find a lot of enjoyment out of it. And Next of Kin, which is the one that came out a couple years ago, I really liked. So I want to add Paranormal Activity, but I think you need to experience that movie. Okay. You really do. I mean, where were you during this time, dude? This was a big deal when this movie came out.
I'm not. It's found footage, right? Kind of.
But it's not shaky cam. You're not going to get sick. If
that's probably the reason I didn't watch it, to be honest.
Dude, just take one of them. What are those pills you take when you go out in the water? What do you call those pills?
I know. What the fuck are they called? A Dramamine?
A Dramamine. Take a Dramamine before you watch found footage.
Like it's fucking.
It might work.
I mean, I've watched. They don't make me sick. I just don't like them. I need the clear.
What have you seen? Found
footage? Well, Blair Witch Project, of course.
And you weren't digging that.
I did like the Blair Witch Project because that came out 2000?
99.
Okay.
99 because it was the last year Laserdisc was operating in America, and I have it.
So I like that one because it seemed so real. It seemed like that.
And you remember the world made you think it was real back then.
My friends around the neighborhood would go around making those like witch symbols, and then they'd hang them places while I was in the house, and then I'd come out and see them, and I thought it was fucking legit. And I was like, holy shit, I'm not coming outside anymore. Fucking woods right over there.
Right.
And then the place where that was filmed isn't too far away from my house. I always wanted to go down and visit it, but then
go visit it. Let's make a video of it.
I know, but part of me, what if it's fucking real, even though it's not real?
You're Facci, dude. You fear no man.
They're not a man. It's a fucking witch in the woods. I ain't afraid of Jason and Michael. I like them.
Facci versus the Blair Witch, dude. I want to see
it. It's a fucking movie. It's going to be incredible. If I can put the earring in, put the hat on, it's fucking dead. It's good, though. I did like, what else did I see? Found footage. I don't watch, honestly, I don't watch too many. I can't even think of any more besides that.
I think a great found footage movie, there's nothing like it, but a bad found footage movie, there's nothing like it. So what I mean by that is if you see a really bad found footage film, and they exist, don't get me wrong, it can really turn you away from that subgenre. But I think when it's at its best, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
I've only really heard good things about Paranormal Activity, so I'm gonna have to give it a try. But
it was fun, dude, because those got me through nursing school because those movies were coming out as I graduated high school. The first one did, and every year in college and stuff, like every Halloween, part 2, then the next year, part 3, and it was fun. That's what I really love about found those movies too. They're because they make me think of parts of my life. And when I look at the Paranormal Activity films, I look at my early 20s.
I think
like Saw was my teenage years. I saw most of those as I was growing up.
I was just gonna say Saw. I was gonna say that was a thing. I was 2004. I think
2004.
So I was 16. So I think my dad took me and my best friend at the time. And then the next Halloween came Saw 2, and the next one came Saw 3. And it was you like lived for each October knowing you're going to get a new Saw movie. And those kind of hit different for me, even though they're not, as great as other horror franchises, and they kind of get a little bit stale after a while, but still has a little.
They do get stale, but I'm big on tradition, and I really think that's something I crave. And I hope that there is a horror series that can do that again. Paramount's they pumped them out, man. I mean, once a year. And Saw, it was incredible. I miss that. I want there to be something else to come in and be like, okay, let's go see the next one's coming out next. Like not even 2 years. It was almost once a year.
Mm-hmm.
I really miss that. I'm ready for that tradition to kick back in. I need another exploitive horror franchise. It's fun, you know, even if it's not bad, who cares? I mean, even if it's not good, who cares? It's just fun to look forward to
every year,
you know?
I mean, that was another thing that Halloween did. Obviously, COVID messed it up being in there, but it was coming out bam, bam. It was supposed to be bam, bam, bam. One new movie every year. And, you know, people didn't like it. They're rushing it, blah, blah, blah. I know they may be rushing it, but at least there's a Halloween movie in the theater that you can go see, good or bad. I don't know what the harm in that is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I talked about it a lot on the podcast. I really enjoyed the journey. I really enjoyed enjoy it because the movie's going to be out soon. And after that, that's when all the, you know, that's when all the shit hits the fan. But like, it's fun leading up to it. It's fun having are they going to pull it off?
Yep.
Is this going to be better than the last one? You know, do you trust them still? Like
no.
It was fun. It was fun. I love the build up to a big horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on YouTube, it's fun. Like it's palpable. You can feel it in the air. You know, it's
different.
It's nothing like it. I love the build up.
Because I know what we got. Saw X coming out, but I don't really see any build up for that. Not yet, anyway. I don't really know if people care that much about it. I mean, I'll go see it and check it out, but it was cool whenever Scream 5 came out, then Scream 6, because obviously the Scream had the build up. People were getting excited for that, and now. We assume Scream 7's coming eventually, but it's not going to be obviously next year, so it's kind of like going to die down a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought I saw. I don't know what Megan is Missing is.
It's a very, very disturbing found footage movie.
Nick was promoting it, maybe.
Yeah, you did. It's. I'd rather not say a word about it though. I'd rather you see it. I've
never even heard of it. Ashton, I haven't seen Jigsaw or Spiral. I've seen them both. I actually like Spiral. I know a lot of people don't like it. I liked it.
Yeah, same.
It was fine. I mean, I like Chris Rock, so he's always entertaining no matter what he's doing. So that probably had something to do with it, I'd say. Let me see. Yeah, there's this. You know, last year for horror was like fantastic. There were so many bangers, so many good movies coming out on repeat. This year, on the other hand, it's kind of not the same. For me, anyway. I haven't liked Cocaine Bear. I mean, it's not really a horror movie, but I really didn't like that much.
I didn't like it either.
Megan.
Megan was interesting. People rallied around it, and I watched it, and I'll never watch it again. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I was just, it was what it was. It was a doll movie, and I never bought it. You know, when it came out on physical media, I don't care if it's not. You know, it just, I don't know. It was okay. You know, and then you know, that's it. So, and it was produced by James Wan. That's what's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting. So, and you didn't like Cocaine Bear either.
Just wasn't good enough. You know, it just wasn't good enough. I wanted more from that movie. Because it seems right up my alley, you know.
Yeah, I'm right there with
very
you.
Very underwhelmed by Cocaine Bear.
Everyone else, you know, a couple people seen it before me. They're like, it's really good. It's really good. And then I walked in, watched it, and I was like, it was fine. Yeah. It was a bear on cocaine doing some things. Yeah. I guess.
I think that the last part of this year is going to be explosive. For a number of reasons. I think that we're going to have some, I think one of these movies is going to be a sleeper hit, whether it be Saw, the new Saw film. It maybe just really surprise people and be really good. The Exorcist film, if it comes out this year, I don't know if it's confirmed or not. If it does, it's going to be very explosive. Very explosive.
Because people are going to be, David Gordon Green, so they're going to hate it to begin with going in.
My issue is not David Gordon Green, it's that Danny McBride's writing it.
That's my man, damn it.
I love Danny. I think he's hysterical.
Funny. He is.
You know, You know what though? But it's not one of those things that I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's going to be a piece of shit. I'm just gonna watch it when it comes out.
Yeah,
You
then
know.
see.
You know.
Sebastian, is the Crystal Lake series still in 2023? No, I think it's 2024, isn't it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought it was 2024. Speaking of that, I was going to bring that up. Are you looking forward to that series? Are you nervous? You're wondering what they're going to do with it? Or what are your thoughts on Crystal Lake?
It's more so what is it going to be, because it's called a prequel, but at the same time they've gone on record saying no, we can use whatever we want from the series.
Mm-hmm.
We have the rights to do anything. So now I'm just like, okay, so what should I expect? You know, I have no idea what to expect. If it's a drama about Pamela being younger and this and that, then okay. It might be good for now you can let the music play.
I don't know where
It
that
might
came
be
from.
it might be good for an episode or two, but if it I don't know, TV show
What
stuff
the-
is
There we go. There we go.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about Crystal Lake. I don't know what it's going to be. They say they can do whatever they want, so
The way that I'm understanding of what I've read so far, that's pretty much going to be that prequel thing with Pamela, and then obviously they're just going to force Jason into it because that's what most Friday the 13th fan want. They want Jason. They don't want Pamela. But I think being A24, I'm not a fan, so I'm just hoping.
I think we talked about that. You've never seen any A24 film that you were just like, wow, that's really good? Not that I need to. I'm just, you know.
I like Tusk, which nobody does.
That's A24?
Yeah.
Tusk, that's when Justin Long just turned into a walrus, right?
It's so fucking weird, but it's maybe because it was funny and I was laughing.
But it was somehow really disturbing.
It was. They were fighting.
I like Tusk too, but I feel like I can't even talk about it because it's just a movie. It's just like, whenever you say you like it, you know,
He's
you just get those groans. Tusk.
They fucking take care of him at the end of the movie. So funny. Like feeding him fish.
Yeah.
I heard they're making another one. I don't know if that's true, but I did hear something about a Tusk too. I don't know how that would work since he's a walrus, but you know, maybe.
I like how in the credit scene of Tusk, they play the podcast where you hear them joke about the idea for the movie, and it's just like, oh my god, like it actually happened, you know.
Johnny Depp was in it. How can't nobody? People are like, he was. I was like, yeah.
Well, you don't recognize him. Yeah, he was very good at being disguised, and his voice was.
He's so good. Because just like he did when he was in 21 Jump Street, and he fucking took off the mask and the makeup, and it was fucking
right.
Johnny Depp. It's a good movie, by the way. I love fucking 21 Jump Street. So you're not sure if The Exorcist comes out this year or not?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm not a fan of the first one, so.
Do you like the third one?
Never seen it.
Please watch it.
I've heard multiple people say that I'll probably like it, but I started it and then I got distracted.
So with the first one, is it not
just not my thing? I guess.
I understand.
Not really a possession movie kind of guy. I just saw like the Conjuring. I just saw those probably like a year ago for the first time, and of course, being new to them, I didn't have like the connection. And then I saw the third one that most people hated, and I was like, I really like that one. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah, I did. I don't know why, but I did.
Right.
And the first two are fine. I've never seen the Insidious movies, which everybody loves, and I've just never had the urge to watch them.
I just they put the first movie out on 4K, and I actually enjoyed revisiting that. It'd been years and years. Patrick actor, he's the dad in the Insidious movies, and he's the husband in the Conjuring.
Yeah.
I so much prefer him in the Insidious films because the Conjuring, you know, it's like the Warrens are so prim and proper. They don't fight. They're very straight and narrow. Everything's deadly serious, right? Because they're dealing with demons and ghosts the whole time. Yep. And the Insidious, I like him a lot because he's a dad, he's a teacher. He's just like, man, this is crazy crap. I don't believe in this shit. And I just like his character a lot. So what I'm getting at is I'm actually really enjoying going back and watching the Insidious films because of him. So I think you might enjoy those films.
Nick. So I don't need to like that comment because he said motherfuck. So, right.
Right. Good job.
Ignore that criticism. I don't know, Nick. I don't know. I just not a. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just.
You like what you like. It's all good, man.
I'm not gonna watch it. I just watched yesterday, Event Horizon. I watched that for the first time. I heard people talk about it and said it was pretty good. You know, those 90s films, you know, they got that fantastic CGI, you know, they all have it, unfortunately. It was good though. It was good. Sam Neill was good and Lawrence Fishburne was great in it. I enjoyed it.
People refer to Event Horizon as the space version of The Shining. You know.
I was wondering what movie it fucking reminded me of, and there you go.
There's footage of that movie that has never seen the light of day, but it's been discussed as some of the most disturbing images ever.
Really?
For that kind of movie, but they could never find the footage. The directors looked high and low for it, you know. But it's a great movie. I love Event Horizon. It
was, oh my God. Sam Neill's eyeballs are ripped out and shit. It looked fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Austin says, do you like The Omen?
If he's asking me, I love The Omen. I love The Omen to death. I think that's one of the greatest 70s horror films.
I actually do like The Omen. I wanted to name my son Damien, but I wasn't allowed. So
that's bull.
There you go.
Damien Facci just sounds like a perfect name to me.
That was the first. Me and my wife, our first date, we went to see the Omen remake. I don't know why the fuck I took her to see that one, but we did, and
this is what we get to look forward to.
That's what we went to see, and I already saw it once because that came out on 666, and I had to see it on that day. No, I'm not a devil worshiper or anything, but I just had to.
Yeah.
So that was my second time seeing it, and I don't know why the fuck I thought that was a great idea to take her to see it, but she's still with me, so obviously it didn't matter.
God bless.
Shut up, Nick. Matt, you got like 27 kids. Why not have another one and name? I'm not having another fucking kid, and I don't have 27.
He got a vasectomy.
It's 4. No, I did not. I scheduled it and I chickened out the day of, and I didn't go.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
My wife's like, I had kids, and you can't go get that. I was like, no.
Man.
Maybe one day. Austin said he was asking us both, but we both gave you the answer, so there you go. Speaking of Sam Neill, he was in the fucking The Omen 3? I think.
Yes.
He was in one of them.
He was in Omen 3.
Final Conflict,
Final Conflict.
Why do I know that? I don't know, because I've never seen it, but at least I know the name.
It's good.
Good for me.
Yeah.
Recently, I've been, like, the past couple guests I've had on, surprisingly, we have not seen a lot of movies, and they haven't seen them either, and it made me feel good about myself. Like all the big boys, like The Godfather and Indiana Jones and all those movies, I've never seen them. I've never really had the urge to see them, and it was nice to have other people not see those movies as well, so that I'm not like alone out there in the world. It's pretty good. Is there any like big movies that you have not seen, like that are like crowd favorites that are huge and you just never seen them?
A lot of the superhero stuff, probably.
Really?
I'm just not into it.
Okay, I've seen all those. I just haven't seen the other stuff.
Yeah,
but probably having kids probably helps me watch that stuff because they really like that crap. So, like, you've never seen like the Avengers and any of that stuff?
No.
Wow.
I remember one of my. It's just not my style. I'm just not into it.
That's kind of how those are.
I grew up with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, of course, right? And so when that Spider-Man movie came out that he was in, I bought it and watched that. Had no idea what the fuck was going on in this movie, you know, but I watched it for Tobey. And I was like, oh, this is cool, you know, but it's just, I'm not into it. Maybe down the road, I'll change. Yeah. I watch some superhero stuff, but it's old school. Like I love the 1989 Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie.
Dude.
Have you seen that?
I got that on DVD.
That movie I like.
You have to count how many people he kills. It's a lot. Me and my friend watched it and counted. It was like 100.
And I've watched the 70s, late 70s, or like the original Superman movies. And the fourth one is a canon film, which I'm a connoisseur of canon. the company, because they made incredibly bizarre movies. It's like I watched stuff like that, but I'm just not really into them. You know, I don't find myself revisiting them. And like, I love Masters of the Universe, but not because it's a superhero film, but because it's just outlandishly hysterical. And it's another canon film with Dolph Lundgren playing He-Man.
Fucking Dolph.
So like, I love stuff like that, but I never find myself having any interest in watching them. The stuff that comes out like now.
I get it. I was probably, I think Endgame was probably the last superhero movie that I was really into, and then every other one since then kind of got fatigued. I haven't really watched any of them, and I've really only been hearing bad things for the most part. They're not as good as they used to be, so I'm kind of glad that I kind of.
I wouldn't even know, man. I wouldn't even know.
Well, now I just told you. So there you go. What's up, Mel? My Killer Podcast. How's it going, Mel? So, oh shit, drinking that. What is that? Is that Coke Zero?
Yeah.
Dude, Coke Zero's fire.
Yeah, it is.
I love Coke Zero.
Hell yeah.
What Austin says, what do you call 150 murders in 5 years? A work in progress. A fucking joke. That's a good joke, Austin. Good job. What's so what would be what's another genre besides horror, obviously? What other movies do you find yourself watching a lot of? Great
question. So the stuff that I love, I'm actually a really big action movie fan.
I figured.
It's just not the superhero stuff. I don't want to watch them. I have no interest. But like, give me a great 80s, 90s action flick. I've seen it. I've gone out of my way to watch so much. I'm a big Stallone fan. I always have been. Quite frankly, he's my hero. You know, when I went through a really, really bad like anorexia phase in high school.
Me too.
And I didn't know what to do. Really, yeah. And just man, and it never goes away. You live with it, you know. But I really got into Stallone films at the time, and his stuff changed my life. Those movies, they're so intense. And then I really fell in love with Jean-Claude Van Damme films. I just think he's a great actor, that doesn't get the credit.
Yeah.
You look at stuff like he did like Lionheart, and he's funny, like Double Impact. If you've seen that, where he plays his twin, it's such good stuff. And I love the canon action films as well. Chuck Norris's Invasion USA is one of the best action films, start to finish, which was actually directed by Joe Zito, who did the final chapter.
Nice.
And so that's my area. Those are my superheroes. That's the kind of stuff I love. And so that's really like, and one of my favorite films of all time is Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Last Action Hero. And it's one of the most incredible films I've ever seen. It's funny. It's action-packed. The soundtrack there's 2 Alice in Chains songs on that soundtrack. But yeah, that's my other stuff. And I love comedy. I love 80s and 90s comedy. I'm a big Rodney Dangerfield fan. Back to School was one of my favorite movies. Quite frankly, any movie where Oingo Boingo performs is one of my favorite movies. And I love Chevy Chase. That's if it's not Rodney Dangerfield, Chevy's my favorite. Chevy's like Funny Farm's just incredibly funny little movie. And I think one of the greatest comedies of all time is The First Vacation.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for that 4K to come out. Like, I love my dog, my Boston Terrier, his name is Chevy Chase. That's his name. And my pug's name is Owen Hart, because I love the wrestler that died.
Yeah.
And I loved Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler, and I wanted to name my pug Owen because I love the name Owen. It's one of my favorite names, so I named my pug Owen. So that's my deal. I'm really big into that, but I'm also really big into true crime that I don't talk about much. I have a fascination about watching documentaries on true crime, which a lot of people do, but sometimes I get a little addicted to it, to be quite honest with you. And I watched so much of it that it'll kind of mess up your brain, and you start living in this warped reality where everything seems so bleak. And you got to go outside and get sunlight and just like get it out of your system. But yeah,
get that vitamin D.
That's the kind of stuff I'm into.
I kind of figured you were going to go that way. A lot of people like the action stuff too. I remember that was my dad. He was always watching Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal and Chuck Norris, and he was always big into those movies. And I just never got into those either. I mean, I don't hate them, and I've seen a bunch of them, but I just not my thing. And that's all right. I saw a question here. Did you guys see there's a new Leprechaun movie in development? I did.
Yes. Cool. Awesome. I liked Leprechaun Returns too. I thought it was fun. It was a guy named Lyndon Porco that played the Leprechaun. It wasn't Warwick.
Davis.
Lyndon did a great job. So I'm actually hoping he's the one that's coming back again. So yeah, I liked Leprechaun Returns a lot.
I don't think I've seen that one. I think the last one I saw was Leprechaun Back to the Hood. I think was the last one I saw.
No, I think you'd like Returns. Returns came out in 2018 or 19, probably 19, and it debuted on Sci-Fi. They got a Blu-ray as well, and it's, believe it or not, it does the Halloween 2018 thing where it's a sequel to it's the daughter of Jennifer Aniston.
Nice.
Is the star of this movie. Jennifer's not in the movie, but they get a person that sounds like her to do a voiceover in the film. It actually sounds just like Jennifer Aniston. So if Lyndon Porco returns, I'd be very happy because I thought he was a outstanding Leprechaun.
I guess I'm gonna have to check that out too. There's just not enough fucking time to watch all these movies. Not for me anyway. Let me see. I thought I saw another question. Yeah, a lot of love for the OG Vacation.
Yeah,
of course, it's amazing. Do you like the other ones in there? Do you like European? Do you like Vegas, Christmas?
European's my least favorite because I feel it's very anticlimactic. They get to Europe and then just what? They're aimless, and the movie ends with them doing a dance, like Chevy's dancing with the. I just feel like it's funny. There's funny moments. I actually think Vegas Vacation is one of the great bad good movies. You know, I really do. The remake, whatever you want to call it. I hate when people get mad about it's not a remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The one with Ed, whatever the guy's name is, the guy from The Office or The Hangover. I thought that one was okay. But I found myself waiting to see Chevy in the film.
Was there.
You know, but I think Christmas is a all-time favorite. But this is how I would rank them: Vacation, Christmas, Vegas, European. That's how I would rank the Chevy ones.
Yep, exact same.
I don't think you can top the first Vacation. I just don't think you can do it. I mean, as good as Christmas is, and Christmas is a part of everybody's life, but when he ties the ant on the family truckster and puts the blanket over while it's raining, it's so morbid and so hysterical. Or when he goes to that area where they're staying at like those little cabins and they walk in to the first cabin and Helen's like, "Oh, Clark, this one smells bad. And Edna, this is your tent." Like those quick little whips that Chevy does, that's where he shines, you know. Or when they have the jar and literally they took a tomato and just like smushed it and he's like, "Real tomato ketchup, Ed?" And it looks disgusting. And then he's like, "What do you say, Clark? Light or dark?" "Oh, a little light, little pink inside. I meant your bun." Like, oh my God. You can't beat Vacation. You cannot beat it.
It's good to go in a fucking Wally World. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Vegas Vacation, Blu-ray Attic. You've never seen it? I highly recommend checking it out.
Please do.
It's so funny. And it's like you said, it's the third best, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
It's. I really think it's one of those. It didn't do good in the box office because Chevy's his star power had waned pretty bad. The 90s weren't very friendly to Chevy, but it did really. I did some research on this a while back. I forgot for what, but it did really, really good on VHS and DVD. So it became a cult hit.
It's good.
It's just. I don't want to talk. I don't want to spoil anything for Blu-ray Attic. I was going to bring up some funny moments, but I don't. I'll stop. But you definitely need to see it. It's a charmer. It's such a charmer. And Cousin Eddie has some of his best moments in Vegas, without question. without question.
Nick Papa Giorgio, baby. Nick Papa Giorgio.
Nick Papa Giorgio
He's
from
like, who's Nick
Yuma.
Papa Giorgio?
Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma. Let the kid. Yeah.
He gives him the first one and he fucking makes it a black guy and he kick him out.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. He puts a quarter and he won a car. He put the quarter and he won a car. He put the quarter in. Ah, fucking lucky guy. And they got 4 fucking cars. And the daughter was super hot in that movie. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
I love how the family members change every fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get it, I guess, because they wouldn't be the same age, so it probably wouldn't make sense. But
well, it's remarkable how they, like, the son Rusty virtually got younger from 1982 when the first went to 1989.
That's a good point.
You know, Rusty got younger, and then was that Juliette Lewis in Christmas Vacation?
Christmas.
Was that the daughter? I can't remember. Let me Google it. My favorite, because I love the daughter. Let me see. Christmas Vacation cast. I want to say that's Juliette Lewis. Yeah, that's Juliette Lewis. She plays the daughter.
So they were like similar age, right? In the first movie.
Yeah.
And then she got really old, and then the son got really young.
Johnny Galecki, who was Johnny Galecki. Galecki has, like, he's Mr. TV show. I can't believe, like, Johnny Galecki. He wow, he's only 48. I thought he should be a lot older. But Johnny Galecki was obviously in David and Roseanne. Which is where I grew up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did that Big Bang. I never watched Big Bang, but
me either.
I would see clips of it, and I was just like, what is this? Is it like, so it's like, it's a show about, like, nerdy video game kids. That's cool. But, like, they're surrounded by some good looking babes.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of false reality is this? You know? I don't know. Maybe nowadays, like, there's a lot of good looking babes that are in the video games. I don't know.
They probably are.
I never watched much of the show. It didn't, you know, some shows you see a minute or two of it. Like, when I first saw Married with Children, like, I was at a hotel as a kid and it was just on TV, and I saw like a minute of it and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm obsessed with it. Like, I never had that feeling with Big Bang Theory. I felt like I was like, I kept telling myself I need to sit down and watch it, and then I'm sure I would like it. But I never had that hook, line, and sinker whenever I would see it on.
No.
There's never any moments it was like, oh my God, I got to watch this. I would flip the channel pretty quick.
Nope, never watched it. I've only ever seen David Galecki in Roseanne, and then the Connors he was in for a few episodes, but not that many.
Right.
A couple more, and we'll get out of here. Blu-ray Addict says, "What's your guys' favorite disaster film?"
You can go first.
Titanic. Does that count?
Of course. It's so funny. It's so funny because earlier today I was watching, of course, with everything that happened with the people that died. I've been watching a lot of footage of, like, the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. It's just so haunting.
It is.
With that being said, though, my favorite disaster film was actually a Stallone movie. It's called Daylight. It's incredible.
In the tunnel.
Yeah, it's an incredible film. That's my favorite disaster film. I think that is an underrated movie because it got buried. Twister came out around the same time.
Good movie.
You know, and
Armageddon.
And Stallone was at a weird point in his career at that point in the mid-90s. You know, he came back. He did Cliffhanger, which was really good, Demolition Man. And in the mid-90s got really, you know, that film got buried a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if you go back and watch Daylight, it is a massive production. Massive production movie. It was a big budget Hollywood film. And it's really, really, like, anxiety inducing, but it's got a great cast, and Stallone just does a fantastic job. I really want to rewatch that film now. It's been a long time, and the music is really good. Whoever did the music for it does a great job at making this just, like, intense, like, thumping kind of orchestral stuff. It's a great movie.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen the movie. I know what the movie is, and every time I go through a tunnel, I think about what the fuck could happen while you're in that tunnel, collapsing on you or whatever. So it definitely, if I watch it, I probably won't want to go through the tunnels anymore.
Oh, it's a great movie. Great movie. Please check it out. It's really good. And Danielle Harris is in it.
No way.
Yeah.
Justin Smith said Maximum Overdrive. I don't Does that count? If it counts, I'm right there with you.
In one way or another, you could call Maximum Overdrive a disaster movie.
What? That movie's fantastic.
I love Maximum Overdrive, but
Grew up with that.
That's coke. I wish I would have found that steelbook. I checked multiple Walmarts. I never could find it.
What? The most recent one?
Yeah, I looked everywhere for it.
It's up there somewhere.
Yeah, I've got the Vestron release, but I love that. I'm a sucker for a good steelbook. Sucker.
Me too.
I wanted it so bad.
That's pretty much what I've tried to collect recently. All steelbooks. I love the artwork, and I just have to have them. Even if I don't like the movie that much, I still want to have it.
Right.
Chris Snyder said Poseidon.
Poseidon's good. Poseidon's really good.
Brooke Scarlett said Dante's Peak and Deep Impact.
Money, both of them.
Dante's Peak is fire. When that old lady's pushing the boat through the water and her bottom half is burning.
Incredible.
It's good stuff. Who's that? Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yeah.
That's a good movie. I like that movie. I saw Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. I love that. I watched that a lot as a kid. That's a good one. The Mist, minus the ending, says Justin. The Mist, yeah, the ending is rough. It's pretty fucking rough. I haven't watched that in a while.
I love the ending of The Mist. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Not the fact, like, that's what a movie needs to do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Get you pissed off, make you feel a certain type of way. A movie's supposed to make you like emit an emotion.
Mm-hmm. And most movies like that, obviously, they'd get the gun out, they'd get ready to do it, and then the mist would clear, and then it'd be okay, which is what most movies do.
Yeah.
That one went the opposite way, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like, that's ballsy. Like, sometimes you don't need to go out of the theater thinking the world's all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes
it is bad.
I have so much respect for that movie because they actually had the balls to do a sad ending. Thank you. Like, why don't we get more of that? Thank you. Like, thank God. Like, I love that about that movie. Makes people feel a certain type of way. It pisses them off. I love it.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but I know Thomas Jane's performance is great. So
yeah.
I definitely need to rewatch that one. Yeah, of course, Maximum Overdrive is a blast. Got AC/DC the whole damn movie. It's fucking badass. Who doesn't love it? Yeah. All right, went for a little over an hour, so that's usually the time limit we usually go and get you out of here. Even though you're an hour. It's only 9:13 where you are. You're an hour behind me. I think. Yeah. But yeah. So that's a 1, 2. I think it's no. How many Nightmare on Elm Street watch-alongs did you come on for? 2?
Probably.
I think it was 2.
Probably so.
By the way, I watched. You said Freddy's Dead earlier, and I forgot to mention this. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna.
Oh, really?
That was like a first time watch. So I heard it was bad, and I heard people don't like it, but I liked it. I thought it was fun, to be honest.
There you go, man.
I can like bad movies too.
There you go.
And I'm not even a Nightmare fan, and I liked it. So fuck y'all. Speaking of that, I need to get my fucking ranking out there because I've never done a Nightmare on Elm Street ranking before, and people are probably not going to like what my number 1 is, but that's okay.
There you go.
It's fine. Before I let you go, I don't know if we talked about this before. Are you a huge fan of the remake or you're not?
I wouldn't call myself a fan of it. But if one day I'm watching the movies and I say, if I get to the point where I'm just going through them and I get to the remake, there are times where I want to watch the remake.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where I'll check it out again or I'll watch it again. I don't actively, I don't go on a campaign about it, about how much I don't like it or anything. It just is what it is,
Right.
It just is what it is.
I'm right there with you. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just there. I think that's the problem. I think if it's a bad movie, people, like you said, go out of their way just to make videos to say how bad a movie is. And it's bad. Who cares?
Yeah. But it's just not my style,
I don't whatever floats their boats, I guess. But yeah, man, appreciate you coming on for this 7th episode of the Faccmonster Cafe. I'm glad that we could get this. We scheduled a little while ago, but you got some shit going on. But I'm glad we could get it done and get you on here.
I always follow through.
I really appreciate it because I know there's some other people that don't follow through with their, their promises or their, agreements. But that's okay. You did.
That's the business, man. Yeah.
I know. I canceled before myself, so I get it. But I appreciate it. It was a good time. Always a good time talking to you, Christian. Good luck on your freaking channel. It's just freaking blowing up. What are you, over 17,000 now or close to it?
Close to it. So
okay, because I remember you saying that you were getting close. So
getting close.
I'm getting close to 5,000 myself, which is
awesome.
Never thought I'd be there. So
incredible.
Very excited. Just keep it going, keep grinding, and I'm sure we will work together again in the future because love having you on the channel. You're fucking blast to talk to. And everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out. Please, on the way out, please click the like button for me. It means a lot. And after, just leave a comment. I don't care what the fuck you say. Just put something down there. And nobody ever leaves comments on fucking anything. Just anything at all. Say I'm an asshole.
Leave a comment.
I don't care. Call me a name. I love you guys. It doesn't matter. But I will be back, I don't know, next week maybe, doing something. Maybe do a pre-recorded video for the first time in like fucking a year.
There you go.
Maybe. But have a good night, everybody. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.